You know what I constantly keep hearing about from girls is the lack of accountability from men. It's, I've dealt with this myself too. Okay. It's like we meet a guy, we're in a relationship with them. There are things that we don't like or things that way that they're making us feel. Okay. And we bottle it in and we accept it for so long. And then we finally speak up about it. And we just want to have a conversation to fix things. You know what I mean? But oh, no, no, no. Whenever I hear about a girl expressing themselves and wanting to have a talk with a man, these men would rather ghost or yell and scream instead of sitting and talking and actually being rational. It's like they don't want to take responsibility or accountability for their actions. So instead, they just fight and they whine and they manipulate and they just flip everything around. And it's just not fair at all. Or they'll just ghost, okay? The last guy I was dating, for instance, we had been dating for a while, and then I could tell like something was off. Like I didn't feel he was putting in so much effort. I didn't feel like he was being consistent. I feel like he was taking me for granted. So one day I called him out on it. And I said, that's what you're showing me. You're consistently showing me that I mean nothing to you and that I'm not worth it. Like you're wasting my time. And after I spoke up, a bug. After I spoke up for myself, he never responded. You know, he didn't want to take accountability for his actions. He didn't care about me enough to say anything back. He just didn't care. Even though just a week before then, he was like nutting inside of me and I was sleeping in his bed. But it's just how it is, I guess. So, and then today, for instance, I'm like talking to my nail girl. Look how fresh. I'm talking to my nail girl and I'm like, you know, what's going on with you and your husband? And she's like, you know, we're getting a divorce. She had mentioned something like that things were rocky about, come Owen! Come on. She had mentioned that things were rocky about 2 weeks ago when I saw her. And so I was just following up with her to see what was going on, if anything had changed. Maybe they talked through things, you know what I mean? Nope, of course not. You know what I mean? I guess that they'd gotten in a fight. He was like, I'm done. He left that night, comes home the next day, and she's like, can we sit down and have a talk? They've been married for 4 years, together for 6 years, and they have a child together. They are co-parents of like stepkids, you know what I mean? But he didn't want to have a talk. He didn't want to hear what he needed to change or do to make it work. It was too much for him to take accountability for it. So instead, he was just like, I'm going to let it go. Kind of familiar to my scenario, like instead of actually taking accountability or making me feel better or even just acknowledging how we're feeling or what this is, they just ghost and they give up. They just give up. It's too hard for them. It's just too hard. Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, of course no relationships are sticking around or staying together. Like, women are trying to communicate and talk and like express our feelings, and then you work through things. But no, like these guys don't want to deal with it anymore. The moment you speak up or aren't happy with them in any sort of way, it's like goodbye, on to the next. But the reality is there's no next. Like these guys like think there's so many options out there. There's not. Like social media has like brainwashed brainwashed us to think that there's so many good options out there, but there's really not. I mean, I see a lot of attractive people, but being attracted to someone doesn't mean that you're going to connect with them. And it sucks because, like, I would love to connect with a lot of people, but it's just not the case. It just doesn't work that easily. It's just not that easy. And, like, even, like, the guy I talked to on Tinder, or, you know what I mean? Like, called him out, and I just called him out. I just said, I don't feel like you're trying to get to know me. He didn't like that either. He got defensive. He ghosted, you know what I mean, afterwards. Like, okay, like, I'm not allowed to speak up. I'm not allowed to say, like, I don't like how you're treating me. Or we're just gonna just keep ghosting. Like, oh, I don't know why why she stopped talking to me, or why this didn't work out. It's like, I'm telling you why. It's like, should we not be speaking up for ourselves then? You know what I mean? Like, in these scenarios, I always think to myself before I do acknowledge, like, the way I'm being treated or, like, how I feel. Like, do I just say nothing and let it go and, like, just ghost? You know what I mean? Or do I say something so at least that they know, like, how I feel or how they're treating someone? And you know, I have a really bad habit of not biting my tongue and just being blunt and letting people know, like, exactly what's going on in my head or how they're making me feel. And it sucks because it got me nowhere. Obviously, it's like they don't care enough to, like, keep me around, but it's like, I'm not alone in this. Like, how could you be married to someone for 4 years and they don't even care enough to have a single conversation to fix it? You know what I mean? It's like, am I the only one feeling like this? Like, these men don't want to take accountability? Like, I don't get it. Like, how no one wants to make it work anymore. They just want to try something new, and it never gets there. So, I don't know. Lack of accountability in men. I keep seeing it over and over again. And it's just, that's not going to get us anywhere. You know, we're going to end up keep being alone because we can't find the perfect person. No one is perfect. I don't know. If you can relate, please comment below. Like, subscribe. Let's talk about it. Let's figure this shit out. You're not alone.